How to be happy every day even when life is hard. Introduction. You do not need a perfect life to feel happy. You do not need more money, more approval, more success, or fewer problems. Most people spend their entire lives waiting to be happy. When things get better. But things always change. Problems always return. Stress always finds a new door. The people who stay strong are not the people with the easiest lives. They are the people who train themselves to create peace in chaos, strength in pain, and gratitude in struggle. This is not about fake positivity. This is about learning how to stay emotionally powerful, even when life is hard. Chapter 1. Stop waiting for life to get easier. Most people spend their lives waiting. Waiting for more money. Waiting for a better job. Waiting for the perfect relationship. Waiting for less stress. Waiting for more confidence. Waiting for the right time. And while they wait, life keeps moving. That is the trap. Most people believe happiness is something they earn after life becomes easier. They think, once I solve this problem, then I will relax. Once I get that promotion, then I will feel good. Once I lose weight, get married, move to a better house, or have more money, then I will finally be happy. But the truth is brutal. There is always another problem. There is always another bill. There is always another challenge. There is always another goal. If you wait for life to get easier, you may wait forever. That's the key. Life is not designed to become permanently easy. One problem disappears, and another one arrives. You pay one bill, and another one shows up. You solve one issue at work, and a new one replaces it. That is life. The people who stay unhappy are the people who keep saying, "Not yet. Not yet happy. Not yet grateful. Not yet peaceful. Not yet satisfied." They delay joy. And delayed joy becomes permanent frustration. You have a choice. You can spend the next 10 years waiting for the perfect moment. Or you can decide that even if life is messy, even if things are hard, even if you are stressed, you will still find a way to enjoy what is in front of you. Because happiness is not found in perfect conditions. It is built in imperfect ones. Think about how many people say things like, "I will be happy when I get more money. I will be happy when I find the right partner. I will be happy when I move somewhere better. I will be happy when my life is finally calm." Then what happens? They get the money. And they want more. They get the relationship. And new problems appear. They move to the better place. And they still feel empty. Because the external situation changed, but their mindset did not. That is why some people have very little and still smile every day. And other people have everything and still feel miserable. It's not about comfort. It's about perspective. That's the key. Look around. There are people with expensive cars who cannot sleep at night. There are people living in luxury who are deeply unhappy. There are people with money, status, followers, and success who still feel anxious, lonely, and emotionally exhausted. Why? Because happiness does not come from having more. It comes from appreciating what is already here. You don't need their permission. You do not need life to give you a green light before you allow yourself to feel peace. You do not need perfect weather, perfect people, or perfect circumstances. You do not need everyone around you to understand you. You can choose gratitude now. You can choose calm now. You can choose peace now. Even if your life is not where you want it to be. That is emotional strength. Chapter 2. Your mind is creating more suffering than reality. Most people are not destroyed by reality. They are destroyed by the story they keep telling themselves about reality. That's the key. One bad comment ruins their whole day. One mistake ruins their confidence. One problem ruins their peace. Not because the event was so powerful, but because they replayed it again and again and again. That is what the mind does when you do not control it. It takes one small problem and turns it into a disaster. It takes one awkward moment and turns it into shame. It takes one setback and turns it into hopelessness. The event hurts you once. Your mind hurts you 1,000 times. You have a choice. You can keep feeding the thoughts that make you weak, or you can start challenging them. Because not every thought deserves your attention. Think about how often people create pain that does not even exist yet. They worry about losing a job they still have. They worry about getting rejected before they even ask. They worry about getting sick, going broke, failing, embarrassing themselves, or being judged. And none of it has happened. But their mind acts like it already did. Their heart races. Their stress grows. Their peace disappears. Why? Because the mind does not always know the difference between imagination and reality. If you constantly imagine disaster, your body will respond as if disaster is already here. That is why overthinking is so dangerous. Overthinking does not solve problems. It multiplies them. You replay the same conversation. You analyze every word. You think about what you should have said. You think about what they meant. You think about what might happen next. And hours later, days later, sometimes even years later, you are still carrying something that should have lasted 5 minutes. That's the trap. Most people do not need a new life. They need a quieter mind. Because when your mind is loud, everything feels heavier. A small problem feels huge. A delay feels personal. A mistake feels permanent. A criticism feels like an attack. But when your mind is calm, you can think clearly. You can solve problems faster. You can stop reacting emotionally. You can stop making everything bigger than it really is. You have a choice. You can believe every thought that enters your mind. Or you can ask yourself one simple question. Is this thought helping me or hurting me? That question changes everything. Because many of your thoughts are not facts. They are fears. They are assumptions. They are old stories. They are emotional reactions. You think, everybody is judging me. No. That is fear. You think, nothing ever works out for me. No. That is frustration. You think, my life will never get better. No. That is hopelessness speaking. Do not confuse emotions with truth. That's the key. You are not your thoughts. You are the person listening to them. And if you can listen to them, you can challenge them. You can replace them. You can stop feeding them. That is power. Imagine 2 people losing the same job. One person says, my life is over. I am a failure. Nothing will ever work out. The other person says, this hurts. But I will figure it out. I still have skills. I still have time. I will keep moving. Same situation. Different mindset. Different outcome. It's not about the problem. It's about the interpretation. That is why 2 people can go through the exact same pain and come out completely different. One becomes bitter. One becomes stronger. One stays stuck. One moves forward. The difference is not intelligence. The difference is not luck. The difference is mental discipline. You do not need to control every thought. That is impossible. But you do need to stop giving every negative thought full control over your life. You don't need their permission. You do not need permission from your past. You do not need permission from your fears. You do not need permission from the negative voice in your head. You can decide that the voice does not get the final say anymore. Because if you do not control your mind will control you. And an uncontrolled mind will destroy your happiness. It will keep you trapped in regret. It will keep you trapped in fear. It will keep you trapped in anxiety about things that may never happen. That is no way to live. So here is what you do. The next time your mind starts racing, stop. Pause. Ask yourself, what are the facts? What story am I adding to this? What is actually true right now? That is how you separate reality from fear. Maybe the situation is difficult, but maybe it is not as terrible as your mind is making it seem. Maybe one bad day does not mean you have a bad life. Maybe one rejection does not mean you are worthless. Maybe one setback does not mean your future is ruined. You have a choice. You can keep making your problems bigger, or you can become stronger than your thoughts. Because peace does not come from having no problems. Peace comes from learning how to stop turning every problem into a mental prison. That is emotional freedom. And once you stop feeding negative thoughts, you create space for something stronger. Gratitude. Because what you focus on grows. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about next. Chapter 3. Gratitude is a weapon, not a cliché. Most people think gratitude is soft. They think it is weak. They think it is just a nice thought, a polite habit, a cliché. But they are wrong. Gratitude is not weakness. Gratitude is a weapon. The strongest weapon you have in the war for your happiness. Because what you focus on grows. That is the key. If you focus on what is missing, you will always feel empty. If you focus on what you have, you build strength. You build peace. You build joy, even in the middle of chaos. You have a choice. Every morning, you can wake up and complain. Or you can wake up and count what is already yours. You don't need someone else's permission. You don't need a perfect life. You have what you have right now. That is enough to start. Here's how you do it. 1. List 3 things today you are grateful for. Not big things. Small things count. The sun on your face. A cup of coffee. A text from a friend. Write them down. Repeat them aloud. That repetition builds wiring in your brain. You are training your mind to see the good, not just the bad. 2. Turn challenges into gratitude. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. You can be grateful for the lesson in the struggle. Every mistake, every setback, every failure, what is the gift in it? What can you learn? Reframe it. That is power. 3. Gratitude is contagious. Share it. Tell someone you appreciate them. Send a text. Smile. Gratitude attracts more gratitude. You cannot complain and stay grateful at the same time. Choose your side. That is the key. You will face moments when it is impossible to feel thankful. That is normal. That is life. But even then you can say, I have a choice. I choose gratitude over bitterness. I choose power over weakness. Say it until your brain believes it. Repeat it until it changes your nervous system. Gratitude is not passive. It is action. It is practice. It is discipline. It is a mental muscle. You train it daily, and it grows stronger. You ignore it, and weakness creeps in. This chapter is not about feeling good superficially. It is about transforming your internal world. You can face the hardest days and still stand tall because your focus is under your control. That is true power. You mastered the art of gratitude. Now, let's stop comparing your life to everyone else. Chapter 4. Stop comparing your life to everyone else. Chapter 4. Stop comparing your life to everyone else. Comparison is the thief of joy. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. You scroll social media. You see someone's success. You see their vacation, their promotion, their house. And instantly your brain tells you, I'm behind. I'm not enough. I'm failing. Stop. That is a lie. You are not them. You don't live their life. You don't have their challenges, their struggles, their hidden failures. You are living your life, your story, and it is unique. That is power. That is the key. You have a choice. You can compare and feel miserable. Or you can focus on your growth and your path. Comparison is useless. Comparison is mental poison. Repetition, you have a choice. Here's what to do. 1. Set your own benchmarks. Don't measure your success against anyone else. Track your progress, not theirs. Even small wins matter. Celebrate them. 2. Limit exposure to triggers. Social media is engineered to make you compare. Stop scrolling mindlessly. You don't need it. You have a choice. 3. Practice daily self-acknowledgement. Say aloud, I am doing my best. I am enough today. Repeat. 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 Your brain will eventually believe it. Comparison hides your power. Gratitude shows it. Focus on your journey. Master your mind, not the world outside. Chapter 5. Choose your thoughts or they will choose you. Your mind is not a passenger. It is a battleground. And if you don't take control, chaos will take over. Every day, thoughts come uninvited. Negative thoughts, fears, doubts, regrets, what-ifs. You have a choice. That's the key. You can let them dominate your mind. You can replay the past. You can worry about the future. Or you can grab the steering wheel. This is not theory. This is discipline. Here's how you take control. Notice your thoughts. Awareness is the first step. When you feel your mind spiral, stop. Name the thought. This is worry. This is fear. This is doubt. That pause gives you power. Challenge the thoughts. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this helpful? Is this mine to carry? Often, you realize the thought is a story, not reality. Replace, don't suppress. Swap destructive thoughts with productive ones. I have survived worse. I am capable. I have a choice. Repeat until it sticks. Repetition rewires your mind. Every time you do this, you train your mind to serve you, not enslave you. This is your mental gym. The more you practice, the stronger your focus, peace, and happiness. You controlled your thoughts. Now let's talk about how to use your emotions as allies, not enemies. Chapter 6. Master your emotions, don't be controlled by them. Chapter 6. The power of presence. Most people live in the past or the future. Rarely do they live in the now. They regret what they did. They fear what's coming. They miss what's happening. You have a choice. You can live fully in this moment, or let it pass by. Being present is not a meditation exercise. It is a lifestyle. It is noticing the breath. It is hearing the sounds around you. It is feeling your body. It is acknowledging the now without judgment. When you are present, stress shrinks. Anxiety fades. Joy grows. Practice this every day. Pause. Breathe. Look. Listen. Feel. Remind yourself, I am here. I am alive. I am in control of this moment. You mastered presence. Now, let's uncover the hidden cost of pleasing everyone. Chapter 7. Stop people-pleasing and start living. Chapter 7. Embrace discomfort to grow. Comfort is a trap. Most people chase it, avoid it, and define their lives by it. But growth lives on the other side of discomfort. That is the truth. That is the key. You will face rejection. You will face failure. You will face criticism. And that is good. Because every time you step into discomfort, you expand your capacity. Chapter 8. Let go of what you cannot control. Most suffering comes from holding on to what you cannot control. People try to control outcomes, other people's actions, circumstances, and even their emotions. Stop. That is a waste of energy. That is the key. You cannot control the past. You cannot control other people. You cannot control life itself. You can only control your response. Focus on what is yours to manage. Your work. Your attitude. Your. Chapter 9. Build joy through action, not circumstance. Happiness is not found in waiting. Happiness is not found in perfect circumstances. Happiness is built through action. Do something every day that strengthens your mind, body, or spirit. Exercise your body. Feed your mind. Serve someone else. Take a small step toward a goal. Do the hard thing you've been avoiding. Joy comes from engagement, not entitlement. That is the key. You have a choice.